What if someone could really travel through time? Imagine having the ability to step out of your present and going to your past or future. Seeing the history firsthand or even changing your future. Amazing, right? It sounds like something straight out of science fiction. But for one man, this wasn't just a dream. It was a reality. Or at least he thought it was. Now the story begins in 1995 when Mike Marcum, a 21-year-old student of electrical engineering living in Stanbridge, Missouri, started working on building a time machine. So as he was an electrical engineering student, he always had a great passion for electrical equipments. He always did many experiments, due to which the back porch of his house was filled with appliances and parts of old radios, TVs, CDs all over the place. Mike was quite a smart guy, but he simply didn't have the money to fund his experiments. In fact, he also completed his electrical engineering with a lot of difficulty. But in 1995, Mike was working on a device known as Jacob's ladder. He was just doing this experiment at his home. Now you must be wondering, what is Jacob's ladder? So this name basically came from the Bible's book of Genesis, in which there is a character named Jacob who sees a ladder in his dream that reaches up to the heaven. Now this is known as Jacob's ladder, and there are basically two conducting wires which are arranged in a V shape, and they are connected to the transformer below, which creates a high potential difference. Now between the two V-shaped conducting wires, there are electrons which start jumping from one conducting wire to the other conducting wire in an attempt to repel each other, due to which an arc of electricity between these two wires gets generated, which ionizes the air surrounding it. Now due to such high voltage, some amount of heat is also generated, which carries the ionized air in the upward direction. Now we can see that there is an arc which is forming in the wires from a point where the resistance is the lowest, and it travels all the way up to the point where the resistance is the highest. Mike had his all attention towards the ionized air, which was going in the upward direction due to heat. He takes a modified compact disc and points it towards the terminal of the Jacob's ladder circuit, allowing him to reduce the air resistance and obtain a continuous arc. During this process, he notices heat mark, which was type of circle in shape. Upon seeing it, he became very curious. And out of curiosity, Mike takes a sheet screw metal and places it in the circular heat mark location, and he repeats the same experiment again. And when he conducted this experiment, he said that the screw just disappears for a moment and it reappears a few feet away from its original position. According to him, he said that the screw did time travel. And after seeing this idea of the screw disappearing and then reappearing, he got the idea of creating a time machine, so that he could just travel into the future and get some money, come back, create funding for his own experiments. But during his experiments, he was constantly facing a problem. That was repeated burning of the compact disc laser. Now he knew that to overcome his problem, he needs a high voltage electricity and a large and powerful transformer. And obviously his small setup could make only one screw travel, but cannot carry him in time traveling. Mike considers buying these transformers, but they were way too expensive for him. So one day Mike's attention turns to these 5 to 6 transformers at the nearby St. Joseph light and power generating station. And he just decides that he has to use them for his experiments. Now the thing Mike did was he steals the transformers, and also he arranges free electricity from the power station nearby by setting an underground wiring. And while experimenting, he ends up leading to a big explosion and also a mass blackout 7 blocks throughout his neighborhood. After creating such a mass blackout, Gentry County Sheriff Lupfer arrests him with a warrant inside his house on January 29, 1995 for stealing the transformers. But after several months in prison, Mike was released, and because of what he had done, he had become very famous. And now when Mike was released from the jail, Coast to Coast radio host Art Bell invites him to the show where Mike gives his own confession on the show. What I've told you up till now is all the confession of Marcum, which he had confessed on the Art Bell's Coast to Coast radio show. Now on this show, he tells the story of the screw and his plans to build a big time machine. Also, he says that this time he will do it legally. Marcum said that he still wanted to do or create another experiment, but he had no money nor the spare parts. So during the interview, he gave his phone number and received non-stop calls for the next 3 days. The show helped Marcum a lot because many listeners helped him with funding and spare parts. He actually generated fans with so much of help and donations. So his next time machine project was going to be more powerful and very much bigger than the previous one. Now about a year or later, in the year 1996, Art Bell once again invites Mike Marcum to his show to know more about the progress of the time machine he has been creating. Mike says that he's just 30 days away from building a time machine, and it was also going to be so big that a person could time travel through it, and the person was going to be none other than Mike Marcum himself. He also conducted some live tests on live subjects like hamsters and guinea pigs, and after achieving some successful results with animals, Mark decided to enter the time machine himself. And he has been experimenting with more than 200 objects which got disappear and reappear at a distance from the original location. Now a few days after the show in the year 1997, Mike Marcum announces that he's going to time travel, and then one day he suddenly disappears. Even after so many years, no clue has been found about Mike Marcum, and this case has remained a very big mystery. But the real mystery is still yet to come. After Mike's disappearance, Art Bell on the Coast to Coast radio show had got many calls. Several calls in which mention was made about an old crime case in America in 1930s. The police found a dead body on the beach of California. The dead body's face was very similar to that of Mike Marcum. And also, the dead body was found inside a strange metallic tube. The shocking thing is that this strange device was also found near the body, which resembles the cell phone in today's era. So did Mike Marcum really time travel? But if he wanted to go into the future, how did his body end up in the past? Is it possible that he got stuck in a time loop and ended up in the past instead of future? If that's the case, then there are many conceptions, science that are beyond our imagination, and Mike Marcum stumbled upon one such answer, which led him to the discovery of time machine, but unfortunately he did not survive. However, what do you think about it? Is this mystery really truth? Despite all the theories and speculations, the truth is Mike Marcum is still missing. His case remains one of the most puzzling disappearances in the history with no answers. What do you guys think happened to Mike Marcum? Could he really have time travel through time? Or was it just another mystery that's impossible to solve? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more such content, and share this video with someone who loves good mystery. Until next time, stay curious.